It worked out because Rumbas Event Rentals, they acted quickly. They brought brand new linens in time still.
And everything was perfect. It stopped raining. The wedding was at 4:30. After that, we got there. It was beautiful. Everything was perfect.
Hey ladies, welcome to season 3 of B3 podcast, Boss Babies and Bottles. And for those of you that are new here, my name is Jessica with a Y. I'm a twin mom, wedding and event planner, entrepreneur, and for today, your drinking buddy. May that be coffee or wine, depending on the time of day. Here I get real with you and talk about all things mom life, building your business, and event planning. What I've loved most about my first 2 seasons with you guys is that I've gotten to meet some amazing women and moms that are just like me, just trying to do their best in life. I've also been able to get super real with you all on my life and motherhood in general. So join me this season as I go through the twins' first birthday and what it's like to be a mom of twin pre-toddlers. I'll also be having some amazing special guests and going through some of my best wedding planning stories too. So grab your favorite bottle or drink and let's get this party started.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of Boss Babies and Bottles. Today I'm joined by my beautiful EBJ bride, Miss Kayla Keller. Or have you changed your last name? I don't know yet.
I have changed my last
Oh,
name.
I see it. Kayla Quintero. I see it. Mrs. Quintana has joined us in the building. Thank you for joining me today. So today we're talking about having the right plan Bs and what happens when you go wrong and having the right vendors to help you during your wedding. So I believe starting off, you found me seeing me do a wedding at Deering. Am I wrong on that?
I went to visit Deering Estate and you were doing a wedding that day, and both me and my now husband and mother-in-law, we all looked at each other and we were like, this wedding is beautiful. And so we pulled the lady from Deering Estate over and we were like, who did this wedding? She sent me your information and that was it.
That was it. That's all it takes, baby. Yeah, yeah, I was doing Daniel and Darcy's wedding. I remember it was January, right? January 2020.
Yeah, January 2020.
I remember. My brain is not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. All right. So we got married for you December 12th, 2020, which was, again, kind of right after this whole pandemic. We were like, are we going to do this? Are we not going to do this?
Real tight.
Yeah. It was, we weren't really sure what we were going to do, but myself, we started doing, EBJ started doing its first wedding. It did in September. We were doing weddings full blown starting October. We already had a ton of weddings before yours. So we did it. So we got this crazy email. What was that? A few weeks before, not 2 weeks. Is that too much?
Maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks tops.
2 weeks before the wedding, we get this crazy email from Deering Estates that has, the amount of restrictions it had on it allowed us to not do the wedding. It was like, oh my God, we need to change the venue. And you called me semi freaking out. And I remember, I knew you were going to freak out because I remember sending it to you and I was like, she's going to freak out. Let me handle this. And then we were like, okay, what can we do here? I remember. And then I was like, don't worry, we're going to find another venue. And you're like, and if we don't, we're going to get married in my aunt's backyard or Kyle's aunt's backyard. That's determined right there. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
So we literally, me and my team came up with a list of venues that were available for your day within probably 24 hours, which I would say is pretty remarkable.
Yeah. And it was like a full Excel spreadsheet.
No, thank you. Well, we try. We try to be organized over here. That doesn't always work, but that was good. Good on our behalf. Thankfully, my staff is really good. That probably was not me. I'm not even gonna lie. That was my staff for sure. 100%. I'm pretty sure you called me while I was not home. I remember not being home. And I remember the call and I was like, all right, here we go. This is it.
Yeah.
This is what your wedding planners are made of.
Yeah. And then you called Deering Estate and we had like a 3-way with them and they were basically like, well, they're suggestions.
Exactly. And then I was like, oh, they're suggestions. And I was like, okay, cool. Bye. We're good, Kayla. Let's do this.
Like, not canceling the wedding.
We're not canceling. We're not moving. We're not doing anything. We're going to have this wedding. And obviously, the pandemic did cause you to shrink your guest list, which was actually good because you were able to add some extra stuff and do a bunch of extra things. So we had less people. You were originally going to have
250.
And we ended up with what, 125? 150?
125 was our final head count. And I think 110 showed up.
Okay. Hey, we were able to add, I think we added photo booth. We went a little bit extra on the decor. We added some stuff on the food, was it?
Yeah, some desserts and stuff like that. We did the whole dessert table.
Nice. And we cannot forget, because I have to bring it up now, Sebastian.
Oh,
Sebastian from the University of Miami. He was there. He was my lifelong dream to meet. And you made that dream happen for me. I did. I got a picture with him. I ran around with him. I probably looked like a crazy stalker. I'm not even gonna lie.
it was awesome.
It was beyond awesome. So whichever one of your friends made that happen, I bow down to them. I appreciate it.
Oh, and it was a surprise. We didn't know about
I know.
it.
I know you guys didn't know, but I knew.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
I
That's why I kept asking you, where's the groom's cake? And you were like, it's coming eventually.
coming. It's coming. Everything's coming. Don't worry. And of course, people at that point, they're always, oh, Jessica says not to worry. I won't worry. I mean, starting off with the beginning of your day, because that's really where we need to start off. We had 2 locations for you. We were at the hotel getting ready. And then we had transportation over to Deering. So that in itself is already a pretty big logistic, because most of your guests were from out of town. So that in itself was crazy. So the first thing I remember that happened when I first walked in, you guys were getting hair and makeup done. You were all nervous. You were texting Kyle. I'm like, get off the phone. We got to get off the phone at this point. You know, the whole point is that you're not supposed to interact too much before the wedding. But the first thing that happened was your flowers got delivered, and you had given them this beautiful lace garter to put around the bouquet. And the flower, and you gave this physically to them, and they did not put it around your bouquet like you wanted, which defeated the purpose of you driving over there and giving it to them in the first place.
That, yes. Now that I think about it like that, exactly.
So Julio from Trias, really popular floral company down here, called them right away. They thankfully brought it over, but they did not put it on. They left it for me to put it on. So of course, I became, a slight florist as usual, and got that on there for you, sitting nicely.
I put it in a shadow box. So.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that. So definitely small thing, but it's in there. And then the hotel has recently closed down for renovations. It was not a hotel that was up to par whatsoever. And I talked about this on one of my last episodes in Memoirs of a Wedding Planner, Wedding Disasters, how the Mayfair decided to just close their doors from one day to another and reschedule and refund everyone's wedding in their books. They had a year and a half worth of weddings. Absolutely insane. And you were telling me the hotel wasn't even that great.
No. We had a really poor experience there. I mean, our welcome party the night before was awesome. It was supposed to be outside up on the rooftop, but it rained. So we moved it to like our second choice, which was one of their rooms inside. That was great. Everybody loved it, whatever. But the hotel itself was very dirty. Yeah. They blame this on COVID, but despite Jessica calling 75 times telling them to clean my room, which was the bridal suite where my husband and I were spending our first night together as husband and wife, they did not clean it, Jessica. It was a disaster when we got back. My mom, 2 of her friends, and 2 of my bridesmaids cleaned the room for us so that we could have a nice night. It was awful.
That's terrible. And usually, when, of course, you were really far, you were 45 minutes, but from the hotel to the actual venue, usually when they're a little bit closer or we're in the same place, usually me and my team will go up there and make sure it gets ready. But we called the gazillion. I remember calling now a few times and having one of my girls call to get it done. And they kept telling us, yes, yes, yes. And then you told me, no. That's crazy. But their doors are closed now. They're renovating, and let's hope that they come back better. But yeah. I personally do not trust them now. That's for sure. So we obviously did face a little bit of weather challenges with you as well, which is one of the big things. It did rain, and it rained while they were setting up. So
it rained really hard.
Yes, I did. So while I was with you, I received that beautiful phone call of everything, absolutely all of our linens, chairs, everything just getting wet. And again, the chairs don't matter because those are wood, plastic. The tables don't matter because those are also wood or plastic. But the linens, all the linens were just... So we had been monitoring the weather, and the weather was kind of back and forth, if I remember correctly, the few days before.
Yeah, it was 48 hours before. I think it was like a 20% chance of rain. So we just said, we
didn't want a tent. We didn't want a tent. And this is a common problem. I always like to talk about it a little bit. It's a common problem because I know people don't get married at Deering to get married under tents, or in any of these places. You don't get married there because you're like, oh, I'd love to have a tent. But it's Florida. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. I mean, it's December, right? You don't expect it to rain in December.
You really don't. But let me tell you, it happens to be that I had a wedding in December. I remember. I do not remember what year it was, but I remember the couple, Nadia is her name. It also rained so bad during her ceremony that we actually had to do her ceremony under her tent. We had a tent.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
At least you had a tent.
We had the tent though, because I think we had seen it too, 20% chance I usually am one to take a risk too. The problem with Deering is that there's nowhere to go. So if it rains, and I think I mentioned this to you guys a few times, I'm like, if it rains, it rains. And then Kyle was like, nope, we're not going with the tent. I'm like, ay, Dios mío. Let's hope that this goes well, which it worked out. And it worked out because Rumbas Event Rentals, which was one of your amazing vendors that we work with all the time, they acted quickly. They pulled all the linens out and they brought brand new linens in time still.
Yeah, and everything was perfect. It stopped raining at like 1 p.m., I think. The wedding was at 4:30.
Yep.
After that, we got there. It was beautiful. Everything was perfect. Everything was set up. Everything was dry.
Yeah,
well,
I'm glad.
That part was dry. The rest was not, but
I'm glad that's what you saw because that's not what I saw. Of course, when I got there, I looked at my team and I was like, oh my God, we need to fix all of this now. And they're like, I know, we just started. It just stopped raining. Like, we're just trying to get everything together. I was like, okay, let's come up with a plan, everybody. And I just remember just standing there and I'm telling the rental company what to do. I'm telling all your florists what to do. And mind you, I know your florists were family friends of Kyle. And I'm just like, I'm telling people what to do as if it was nobody's business. Okay. I am a drill sergeant at this point. And I was like, the bride is on her way. You guys do not understand all the crazy things that I go through. So having a right plan B is very important, especially if your venue has absolutely no options. Do not assume that your rental company will do that nor have the time for that. But luckily, Rumbas is absolutely amazing. Very good friends of mine as well. And they made that happen for us.
They did. Yeah.
So that's very exciting. And I was thinking about it now that I think about it, and Rumbas actually did something very similar for another one of my brides a few years back when it was a tropical storm that was coming in on the weekend. And I knew it was going to rain. I had been telling this bride from the week before, I'm like, it says it's going to rain. And every day it showed it was going to rain. It wasn't like yours where it was like, oh yes, oh no, this is May. Okay. It was right before hurricane season. So hurricane season for us starts June 1st. So it was right before hurricane season. It was Memorial Day weekend. I remember exactly when it was. And I'm like, Marina, it is going to rain. And she's like, no, Jessica. And you guys have probably heard this story before if you've heard all my podcasts. She goes, no, Jessica, I believe in Jesus, don't you? And I'm like, yes, girl, I believe in the power of prayer. Let's do it. But okay, rain is rain. I see it. It's here. Okay. I do this every single weekend. And she's like, no, it's not going to rain. And then 2 days before reality finally set in, because I kept bothering her, and Rumbas literally came in with a custom tent for this backyard. Okay. Cause it was a weird shaped backyard. They came in, they did a pool cover. They did the tents. They had the walls, and thank God they did, because there was absolutely no way that we would have been able to do that wedding. When we first walked in, there was water to our ankles from how much it had rained. The power turned off. Okay. We had to get a generator last minute. I mean, these are the things that happen, people. Okay. These are real life stories from a wedding planner. So make sure you listen to your wedding planner. That's all I have to say. Just listen to your wedding planner. So on that account, one of your transportations got lost. So how he got lost is beyond me. But he got lost. I think if I remember correctly, he told me that he had an address and then someone gave him another address. I don't know who that someone was. I still did not even clarify what had happened there. But that bus that got lost, of course, was the one that had your grandmother. So we couldn't start the wedding.
Nope. I was like, I'm not walking down the aisle
without my grandma. Of course not. And you shouldn't have had to.
I think they got there. They were literally like running down. I remember standing, we were all lined up. They were like running down, whatever. And then the two people who were in the bridal party that were coming, my grandma and my best friend who was walking her down the aisle, showed up like 2 minutes before I was supposed to start walking. Oh my God. And the song, Jess.
Oh,
they played the wrong song.
They played the wrong song. Yep. That did happen.
You fixed that too, though.
Yes, I fixed it.
And he did. The transition was very smooth.
Yes.
Nobody
I don't think
was-
anybody really noticed, you know?
Nobody noticed.
Yeah, nobody really noticed. So the DJs create these playlists in advance so that they have all the music in order. They don't have to think too much about it. And he clicked the wrong song. He clicked the second one instead of the first one, or the first, you know, whatever it was.
The bridal party was walking down to one, and then I was walking down to a different, and he clicked mine instead of theirs.
There you go. So you see, little things happen, guys, all the time. I can't even tell you. But I remember having one of my girls out in front, handling the bus guy and telling me when this bus and the people were coming, and they got there literally right on time. I was like, you tell them to go, you follow them, and you tell them to go. There's no sightseeing down Deering Estates. Of course, Deering Estates is the longest walk from the entrance to the ceremony known to mankind. It's like easily a 5-minute walk. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like little. So like, we're rushing everybody down there. I have everybody lined up in order. I look at everyone. I'm like, okay, grandma's here, best friend's here. Okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and walk down. And all of a sudden, I think it was your mom who looks at me and goes, Jess, there's a boat. And there was literally a boat in the middle of this freaking lake, ocean, whatever that is. I don't assume that's the ocean. I really have no idea. I probably should know those things. And there's a boat right in the middle where your arch is. In every single picture, that boat was going to come out. And I look at it and I'm like, mind you, I haven't started a wedding late, guys, in probably 4 years now. Okay. I have not started a ceremony not on time. I swear to God, as the bride walks down, I always look at the time. And when I tell you I am right on, I am like literally right on every single time. I'm pretty well known for that. Okay. And I'm like, this is not going to be the first wedding where that happens. I miraculously, I can't even tell you, I didn't even move. I didn't run over there because it was far too. For me to have gotten to those boats and back would have taken me easily 10 minutes. So thankfully I have, again, friends in high places. I call the right person who calls the right person and gets that boat to move literally right on time. And we start exactly at the right moment that we are supposed to. It was pretty epic. I remember, I think it was your mom or your dad that looked at me and was like, wow, you made it happen. And I was like, we made it happen. Let's go. Here we go.
I think it was my dad because we were the last ones left. Yeah.
Oh my God. The things that happen, guys, I'm telling you. And these are the little things that make such a big difference. So that boat was definitely there. So, I mean, things happen at a wedding, guys. That's the whole point of this. But being flexible, having plan Bs, having the right vendors. Yeah, guys, I can't even explain that enough. That's key to having a good wedding. And I know you can attest to that, Kayla.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate you and everything, you and Kyle. So thank you. Thank you guys also so much for listening to this next episode of Boss Babies in Bottle. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, as always, for your love and support. The Breathe 3 podcast wouldn't be anything without you. Make sure, if you haven't already, please subscribe and review the podcast. And make sure to look me up on Instagram at EBJ Events or canal.twins to stay up to date on upcoming special events and exciting announcements I might have. See you on the next one.